News, today's news.
Support for Israel and Ukraine.
We cannot and will not let terrorists like Hamas and tyrants like Putin win.
Speakers standoff.
You could almost feel or touch the acrimony.
Charges against Army men who entered North Korea.
They include desertion, assaulting other soldiers.
Good morning, I'm Steve Capin with the CBS World News Roundup. President Biden has called on Americans to rally behind Israel and Ukraine. White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe reports Mr. Biden last night urged Congress to unite to approve billions in new aid for those two countries.
Making sure Israel and Ukraine succeed is vital for America's national security.
President Biden, in a rare Oval Office primetime address, laid out the stakes for Americans. As new CBS polling finds, more than half of Americans disapprove of how the president's handling the Israel-Hamas conflict. A third of Democrats disapprove, which creates a challenge as he prepares to ask to spend billions more to defend Israel and Ukraine.
Hamas and Putin represent different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy.
Mr. Biden is set to ask Congress today for roughly $100 billion in emergency spending over the next year. It includes $60 billion to support Ukraine, around $14 billion for Israel, and the rest would support Indo-Pacific countries, including Taiwan against Chinese aggression, plus billions more, U.S. border security, and disaster relief.
It's a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations.
In our latest polling, 76% say the U.S. should send humanitarian aid to Israel. 85% are concerned about a possible wider war, and 79% about possible terrorism here in the U.S. Well, President Biden said last night he does not want U.S. troops involved in the Middle East war. But yesterday, a naval ship, the USS Carney, intercepted missiles fired from Yemen that could have been headed to Israel. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab reports on what could be the next phase of Israel's response to the Hamas attack.
Tens of thousands of Israeli forces are massing along the border with Gaza as a senior Israeli military leader tells soldiers they would soon, quote, see Gaza from the inside. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with soldiers close to the front line, asking if they were ready. Yes! Israeli military leaders have not said when the ground invasion will begin or how long it will last. But fears the already enormous death toll across the narrow Palestinian territory will skyrocket are only growing. The Palestinian Ministry of Health says nearly 4,000 have been killed, including around 1,500 children.
The State Department issued a rare worldwide alert for Americans overseas to exercise increased caution because of heightened tensions, and federal law enforcement officials are also warning of potential threats here in the U.S. Now to Capitol Hill, CBS's Nicole Killian has the latest on the Republican struggle to choose a Speaker of the House.
Are you going to go to a third round, yes or no?
We're still in this race for sure.
Congressman Jim Jordan, down but still refusing to be out.
I plan to go to the floor and get the votes and win this race.
The Ohio Republican huddled with holdouts after losing two back-to-back votes this week, but several appeared unmoved.
We're going to have to move forward, and we can't keep the country shut down.
Jordan's decision to forge ahead comes after tensions reached a boiling point during a 3-hour private GOP meeting that erupted into a blow-up between former Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Florida Republican Matt Gaetz, who led McCarthy's ouster.
I was at the mic, I was speaking, and Matt Gaetz tried to interrupt us as I told him to sit down, and we sat down. I think the entire conference screamed at him. The whole country, I think, would scream at Matt Gaetz right now.
Republicans discussed a plan to temporarily empower acting Speaker Patrick McHenry, but even that fell apart.
New developments in the case of Army Private Travis King, the American who bolted into North Korea in July, then released last month. CBS's Jennifer Kite.
Army Private Travis King is facing 8 charges. Documents obtained by CBS News show they include desertion, assaulting other soldiers and officers, and soliciting and possessing child pornography. King's mother, Claudine Gates, says she loves her son unconditionally, is extremely concerned about his mental health, and she looks forward to him having his day in court.
4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 63 degrees outside.